Today, for the first ever Let's Play on the channel, we are playing the game Don't Starve. I just survived 6 full days in Don't Starve, and the capture completely fucked up. So we're starting from the ground up, we're starting a brand new world. We'll talk a little bit about it as we go along and explore in the game, but Don't Starve is a survival type game. It's horror adjacent. Basically, the goal is don't starve, don't die. And that actually proves to be increasingly more difficult as the days go on in the game. So, here is the opening animation, and we'll see you on the other side. Alright, so yes, as you can see, I already started a world. We started, lived through day 6, and I fucked up. The capture didn't record, so we're gonna go all the way down to the bottom here. As you can see, the morgue, these are all the times that I've played this game and died. I died on day 1 from a hound. On another playthrough, I've died on day 18, and then again on day 20, and then again on day 21, and then again on day 41, so I'm technically getting better as the days go on. I think the most I've ever survived in this game is up to like 70 or so days. Once it becomes winter, it becomes really difficult to play this game, but you can survive hundreds of days. There is technically a way to beat the game. I have never done that, and I don't know that I'm 100% interested in doing that. I like seeing how long you can survive. But with that said, there are plenty of playable characters. We've got Wilson, Willow, Wolfgang, Wendy, WX78, some characters that have yet to be unlocked. I think this character is a librarian, maybe. This character is a lumberjack. I can't remember who this is. And then I think this has got to be the main bad guy, who I guess we'll talk about later on. And then Wagstaff, I guess I've unlocked, but I don't know how. I think maybe that just came from purchasing the game. It was like an extra bonus or something like that. But we're going to play as Wilson. Maybe on future playthroughs we'll play as Willow. She's a fun character. I've never played as Wolfgang or Wendy or WX78. But each character has a specific perk. We're playing as Wilson, the gentleman scientist who grows a magnificent beard. We'll talk about that as we go along. We're going to start hopping in. All right. So I explained how the game worked in the last one, but you guys weren't there for that. That entire thing got fucked up. So I'll try to remember to explain everything as I'm doing it as we go along. So again, it's a survival type game. You try to survive as long as you can. You're going to need to survive losing your insanity. You don't want to lose your mind. You don't want to go hungry. You don't want to die from all the monsters out in the world. But you start to lose your mind in this game, especially late at night. You'll be attacked by shadowy creatures. Here's the bad guy. Say, pal, you don't look so good. You better find something to eat before night comes. So, here we are. A brand new world. We'll start collecting stuff. We'll collect flowers later on. You collect flowers to kind of save some of your sanity, but they are a resource that is few and far between. We've got the map here that we will start as. If I zoom all the way out, you can see it's pretty goddamn big. I'm moving all around it, and I think there's even more to explore beyond this. But here we are in our tiny little pocket of the world. I've already lost us. Here we are in our tiny little pocket of the world. As we walk around the map, we'll explore more. But yeah, we can pick up flowers. We'll start by picking up some food, some seeds, some carrots. We need saplings and grass and logs to build campfires. We can set up a more permanent base later on, but right now we're just focusing on setting up a temporary overnight stay. You can see in the top right your hunger, your health, and your sanity. You can see how long the day is, then that turns into dusk, then that turns into night. So we need to find a bunch of resources to build a campfire. You cannot survive through the night without light. You start to lose your mind, you get attacked by shadowy creatures, and then every few days we get attacked by dogs. Oh my god, there's already a freaking giant, I don't know what these things are. I know that they are very angry, and if you come anywhere near their egg, which is usually, that's a tall bird, that's what it is. Okay, he's chasing after us already. We need to run. Oh my god, I'm not coming anywhere near you. You don't even have an egg down there. But there's lots of stuff to collect around here. Oh my god, he's going to corner us. That's not good. Whew, I'm glad he ran away, because I don't know that I could have escaped that. Could you imagine dying on day 1 in my freaking playthrough? So we need lots of resources. We need to collect grass. I'm going to need to chop down some of these trees soon. There is a karma system in this game, so if I were to chop down too many trees without planting trees, I get attacked by a thing called the Keeper of the Forest. I think that's what it's called. That's what I call it, at least. It's a tree that turns into a giant tree monster, and you are punished for bad karma in this game. The same thing will happen if I kill too many rabbits, which we will be doing as a source of renewable food in the future. Obviously, see, there they are, the rabbits. We'll set up some traps over these rabbit holes to catch these rabbits. They're a good source of food. They're better than the berries and the carrots we'll find throughout the game. The berries and carrots serve as very important parts of ingredients for bigger meals. So we'll collect these berries, collect these carrots. We need flint for tools. We need sapling for tools. We need grass for tools. I think we now have enough to build an axe, which we do. We'll start chopping down these trees, which is going to help us for building a campfire, which again, the first couple of days I just kind of explore around and figure out what's going to be the best place to set up camp. So we'll have temporary overnight stays randomly in the middle of the woods somewhere, and then once we find a good place with lots of resources, we will just pick up there and set up camp. But in the meantime, I kind of just collect everything that I can. We'll collect the flowers later on, but again, it's good for like saving some of your sanity, so I don't pick them until it's time. Until it feels like time. At the very least, always going to pick this grass, always going to chop down these trees, and I need to remember to plant these pine cones as soon as I do that. Yeah, this game is, it's not necessarily difficult right off the bat. If you don't know what you're doing, maybe it is a little bit. I have played this game a handful of times. I saw a creator from the channel The Yogscast back in the day. His name is Sips. He did a bunch of Let's Plays in this game, and I was recently reintroduced to his series. For whatever reason, YouTube chalked it up as a suggested video for me to watch. And man, he survived to like day 200, and I had not watched his content in years and years, and I was really excited to watch it all over again. And it got me so hyped about playing the game again that I just had to buy it. I think it's $10 or $15. I'm playing on PlayStation. I don't know what it is on Steam. Probably something similar. Look at this, the mother load of carrots. It's getting late. Okay, so you cannot survive in the middle of the night without a source of light, so we'll have to build a fire at a certain point. In the meantime, I'm picking up all these saplings and all these grass tufts. We'll take some of these berries, but later on we're going to need to dig up these berry bushes to have at our permanent base. Here's what we've explored so far. We're going to take that trail somewhere. Trails don't necessarily lead somewhere. There's like cobblestone trails that lead to pig dens, which we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But in the meantime, we have not found one of those, so it's not necessarily worth it to talk about those yet. Ideally, we'll find a place near a pig den or a beefalo camp. Look at that. We've already found a wormhole. If I hop in this wormhole, it will take me somewhere randomly on the map and drop me off at another wormhole that we can then jump back and forth between. But right now, we're just going to bounce around and explore around here. Maybe this is a good place to set up, at least overnight. And then we can cook up some of the berries that we have. Oh yeah, I said I was going to plant some of these pine cones. I should do that now. We don't want the Keeper of the Forest coming after us. Not yet. In the future, it's kind of fun to lose your mind, because you can... there's certain things that you'll gain from that. I have not played in a long time, so I don't remember exactly what that is. But I know that losing your mind initially not a good thing. Later on, it serves a purpose at the very least. Not necessarily a good thing, but there's things that you can do with it. All right, we'll chop down one more of these trees, and then I think we'll pick a place to set up for the night. We'll cook up these berries. You can eat carrots and berries raw, but I think you get more from them if you cook them up. And then there are certain things that you cannot eat raw that you have to cook up, otherwise you'll die. Okay, so there's a swamp up here. We are not ready to go through the swamp. There are tentacle monsters in there that I am not ready to take on, but we will be soon. The main thing is making sure that we can prepare for the impending dog attacks. Every few nights... Oh, I should build a pickaxe. Yeah, I should build a pickaxe. Every few nights, you get attacked by hounds in this game. And the first night's not so bad. The second time that it happens, not so bad. But as it gets further into the game, it becomes more and more difficult to ward off the dogs. So we'll have to prepare. Okay, we're gonna set up our temporary base right here. It's becoming nighttime. We'll add a few logs to the fire, and we'll start cooking up these berries. We've done quite a bit of exploring already. There's obviously so much more to explore. But in the meantime, this is good. We're going to need to find a place where we can dig up some rocks. This little rock thing over here leads to a cave system underground. I haven't messed with those in a long time, so I'll be honest, I'm a little worried to mess with them right now. They kind of scare me. And this game isn't necessarily scary. It's just a survival game where things will start to attack you in the middle of the night. And you start to lose your sanity in this game. And when you lose your sanity, as I'm sure we will within the first 30 days, things really kick off. Okay, look at that. We've got plenty of carrots. We'll even eat one more of these berries just to top off so we're completely full. And we'll do a little dance around the fire as we wait for night to pass. Yeah, some of the things that are really difficult to handle in this game. Dog attacks as you get further on. Mobs get pretty intense. There are certain types of mobs that are worth being worried about. Spiders aren't on their own so bad, but in large numbers they become pretty bad. These tentacle monsters out there. If we find a pig village, which is a good source of manure, which is also a good source of... Anyways, the first point. If we find a pig village late at night, if it's a full moon, the pigs will become were-pigs, and those become very difficult to fight. On their own, they're passive, so they don't come after you unless you... they're neutral, I guess, so they don't come after you unless you attack them. But if we get attacked by dogs in the middle of the night, we can bring the dogs over to the pigs, and the pigs will fight the dogs. They're hounds. They're like wolves. Look at that. We survived day one. Beautiful. We're off to a good start. Oh, what is this over here? Oh, it's just papyrus. I don't think I'm ready to go into the swamp yet, but I will grab some of this papyrus. At a certain point, we're going to want to build a bird cage to catch a bird, where we can get eggs. But right now, we're just going to continue exploring. The last world that I played in was like all forest, and that was a problem. Okay, there's some evil flowers around here, which means there's probably... Yes, look at that. We're in the bottom left corner. There's one of those big scary trees. If you're near evil stuff, you start to lose your mind. Same thing with being in the middle of the night. You start to lose your mind. If you get attacked by things, you start to lose your mind. And then over time, that compounds and you go insane. And it gets pretty difficult to survive when you're losing your mind. Man, there's evil flowers everywhere. So we'll follow this trail, which I don't think is leading me anywhere good. Okay, great. It's leading me into a swamp. We're going to run through it. But if we get attacked by a tentacle monster, I'm fucked. That would suck to die in the first day. We're not ready to take on anything lethal. I don't even have a spear yet. At a certain point, we'll need to set up a permanent base, which means we'll need to set up a science machine. A science machine is like a crafting thing, so once... Oh, man. There's a pig's head. We're too deep into the swamp. I gotta be honest, I'm a little nervous here. I should not be here. Oh god, the tentacle monsters are coming after me. But we're gonna run through the swamp anyway. We'll see if it leads us anywhere good. It does not. It's a dead end. Great. Okay, we need to run back. Oh god, why did I do this? So there's an ongoing war between the mermen and the pigmen. It's a little upsetting that we already stumbled across the swamp before we stumbled across the pigmen, because the pigmen, for all intents and purposes, are pretty great. They're pretty useful. Ah, look at that. It's already starting to rain, and I think you start to lose your mind in the rain. Yeah, look at that. My sanity's already dropping down. We'll need to collect more flowers, because, again, at a certain point, you start to lose your mind. Flowers help you gain sanity back. I don't know. It's sort of the touching grass philosophy. So there's nothing really good up here. We'll have to come back to that swamp at a certain point, but we don't need it now. We'll head back down this way, and we'll start to cut left, because I imagine there's probably something good that way. We'll want to find a beefalo herd, which again can kind of serve as protection from the dogs in the future. Every few days you get attacked by dogs overnight. And then again, if you start to lose your mind, whether it's day or night, shadow creatures start to attack you. So the main thing right now, the primary goal, is finding some rocks, which I just stumbled across, to set up a permanent campfire. You can set up, like, whatever, regular campfires with just logs and sticks, but you'll need rocks for a permanent one. And then that's kind of how we'll start to establish a base. Again, the first few days, I just kind of explore, run around, try to find the best place to set up camp. And then at a certain point, it's good to pick a permanent spot to kind of reside so that you can run back for resources. Usually, that place ends up being near a bunch of rabbit holes, so you can set up traps and continually trap rabbits. They just respawn. And those are a good source of meat, which is a good source of... there we go. Look, our first rock. We're really doing it. Our first boulder. So I think you need 6 rocks for a science machine, and you need some rocks for a campfire. You need a science machine to craft things. Once you have crafted them in the science machine, then you can craft them wherever. You just need to prototype them with the science machine. Oh, look at that, a turkey. You can't just attack turkeys, you can't catch them, but you can sneak up on them, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Again, the main thing right now is just finding some place to establish a permanent residence. We need a place to call home. These trails don't necessarily lead us anywhere. Oh, look at that. They led us right to a boulder. They don't necessarily lead anywhere unless we find one of those cobblestone trails, which leads us to a pig village. More carrots, that's good. And more berries. At a certain point, we'll dig up these berry bushes. We need a science machine to prototype a shovel, and then once we have a shovel, we can dig up the berry bushes and replant them back at our base. This is just a regular old trail. I think one of those tall birds are around here somewhere, right? Whatever. We're gonna mine up all of these boulders so we can get as many rocks as we want. I leave the what is it? The niter? I just picked it up. What is it called? Niter. I don't remember what it does. I know it serves a purpose at some point, but I don't remember what that is, and you don't need it for a whole lot of stuff, so I try to just leave it behind because it takes up inventory space, but yet I keep picking them up. Okay, we got rocks. We get more saplings, get more grass. I'll probably chop down another tree tonight, get some more of those berries, and then I say by day 3, I'll try to find a place to officially establish residence. I'll have to change my mailing address so they can send my mail to me in the middle of this deserted island. That's not actually something that you do. Okay. Dig up all these pieces of log. I'll plant these pine cones. We'll set it down just so the big scary tree monster doesn't come after me. Where are we at? Okay, so we're at a grassy area. Oh, there's a bunch of berry bushes down here. A grassy area tends to be a good place to set up, A, because there's a bunch of rabbit hutches, and B, because technically sometimes there's beefalo that's set up, but right now it seems like that tall bird is over here, and he's no good. I'm not ready to fuck with him yet. We'll pick up this flower. We'll get 12 flowers at a certain point so we can build some garland. I hear bees. That'll be a good thing in the future to dig up. Okay, alright, so we got bees over here. It's a good source of honey, which is good for crafting, healing things, and then also making food. Delicious food. We can make honey nuggets out of that. We'll follow this trail a little bit, see where it leads us. And then at a certain point, yeah, I'll stop exploring. We'll set up a permanent camp. I'll chop up this boulder, because that feels like a good thing to do. And then it's going to be nighttime pretty soon, so we'll do the one more overnight temporary residency, and then we'll set up a permanent camp. by middle of day 3. Maybe I'll give myself permission to wait until day 4. But right now, we'll set up a fire here and survive through the night. We'll cook up these berries, because it looks like we're getting pretty hungry. Poor Wilson, abandoned on this island. All he wanted to do was science, but he was corrupted by the voices. Okay, cook up some of these carrots. Again, I don't know if I said this already. You can have raw carrots. You can have raw berries, but I think roasting them gives you a little bit more hunger, helps your health a little bit more. We do not want to run out into the dark yet. In the future, at a certain point, that'll be worth it, because there are things that we can get out in the dark. But right now, it's all about surviving. So what have we done today so far? Oh man, okay, pretty much a straight line. I didn't go left or right very much. And obviously, if we zoom out, that is the full capacity of the world. And then there are other portals you can take to other worlds. So there's a lot of exploring to be done. Right now, we're surviving day 2. That's all you can ask for, right? We made it through day 2. If I was deserted on an island somewhere, I don't know. I imagine at a certain point, I would die. I don't know how long I could survive. If there was random spider camps, I wouldn't do well, which we will stumble across those probably any day now. Anywhere between day 3 and day 7 is when the hounds start to attack. Again, the first hound attack, not so bad. It's usually just 1 or 2 hounds. But as they progress, you get more hounds, more start to attack. Some of them light on fire. It's going to get brutal. But this is all in preparation of winter time. Winter time comes between day 15 and day 30. And we want to make sure that we are prepared to survive the winter, because that is a tough thing to do if you're not prepared. And honestly, that's where I end up dying the most, because you lose your berries, you lose your renewable sources like your gardens and stuff, your farms, and you have to rely on rabbits, which is fine. You can do that. It gets pretty tough after a while. So, all right, where are we at? This looks like a pretty pleasant place. We're gonna dig up some more of these petals. So if I dig up, I'm not gonna do it now, but if I investigate this suspicious dirt pile, it'll uncover a paw print, and if I follow those paw prints, it will lead me to some sort of elephant type creature, which is harmless for the most part unless you attack it. Then it's really difficult to fight, but you can kill it for stuff in preparation for winter. You can steal its hide, steal its trunk, turn it into a nice breezy vest, maybe a puffy jacket. We're gonna get some more of these resources. And then again, hopefully by the middle of day 3, we'll find a place to establish a permanent residence. We need to get to a place where there's plenty of rabbits, plenty of berry bushes that we can just go back to. We'll dig up some of these berry bushes in the future. Look at these. Look at all these carrots. Delicious. This is so good. First few days are so fun, and then it just gets so difficult. More carrots, more rabbit holes. I gotta imagine we'll probably be setting up somewhere around here, but we'll do a little bit more exploring to see if we can find anything better. And then, again, in the future, we'll do some more exploring, but it's nice to have a place that you can just go back to, you know? Nice to have a place to call home. When you're off on a long road trip, there's nothing better than popping over to your home and laying down in your own bed. Except there's not really beds in this. You don't really sleep much. You can sleep much, but at a cost. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Right now, it's just a matter of collecting resources. My inventory is almost full already. That's annoying. I can't collect any other things. So, we'll follow this around here. And then, yeah, by the end of the day, we'll pick a place to set up camp. It's just hard, you know? Moving is always tough. You gotta figure out if it's close to work, how long the commute is. And if we're way down here and we want to get way up here, that's a long way to run, you know? So if we ever want to go back to the swamp, we got to keep in mind that we now live way down here and it is a long run. And if come winter time, we really want to go up somewhere, it's really difficult to travel in the winter unless you have a ton of resources. So we'll do a little bit more exploring, get some more of these saplings, some more grass. It's always good to have. We're going to run out of these resources at a certain point. But the main thing is establishing a place where we can set up our science machine. so we can start crafting other tools. We're definitely going to need a spear, because when that first dog comes, unless I have anything to defend me, I need to fight it off myself. This pretty much just dead ends here. That's pretty cool. Awesome. What a wasted journey. I know we got a lot of food, but that could spoil at a certain point. If we let things just sit in our inventory or sit in a chest somewhere, they spoil after a certain period of time. Okay, so there's a different portion of the island over here, so we're going to want to follow this along, because I imagine this will curve over. You can't go through the water. Sometimes things will wash up and then you can fish into the water. You can't fish for actual fish, as far as I know. Man, I really want to get over to that other side of the island. Oh, what the hell? How am I supposed to get over there? Okay, I just gotta follow this island around? That kind of sucks. Where the fuck am I supposed to go? Okay, we'll run over this way. Here's all that niter that we left behind. I gotta be honest, it might end up being day 4 that we establish a base camp. I want to explore more. I feel like there's a lot. Oh, okay, look at this. So much more to explore. All right, okay, so this is exciting. So, first and foremost, we found the ring thing, which if I'm near, all of these are evil flowers. If I'm too close to those, I'll start to lose my mind. At a certain point, we need to collect a ring thing, a wooden thing. Did this show up on my map? Okay, we know that there's a wormhole here. The ring thing, the metal thing, the wood thing, the crank thing, and then when we establish all of those things together, or we combine all those things, there's like a way out of the world. We'll pick that ring thing up in just a minute. We know that on the map it is down by this wormhole. I'll pick that up in just a little bit, but right now we don't have the inventory space. But I gotta be honest, this doesn't seem like a bad place to set up camp. There's rabbit hutches, there's berries. This might be the place. Let's see where it takes me. I'll run over here a little bit. It is a little unfortunate that I haven't found any pigs yet. And I don't think we'll find any pigs over here. Nah, we didn't. We'll really want to find pigs. We'll want to find some beefalo soon. Those are all going to be great sources of fertilizer, of manure. So after a certain while, we'll collect a bunch of manure, we'll build some farms, and then the manure helps us to fertilize the farm. But in the meantime, we're gonna... Oh, it looks like I've already been here. Oh yeah, I guess I did. Okay. This is probably the spot. And then we'll start exploring a little bit more down here. I have to imagine there's more down here, although it looks like the water goes right here. So, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to run all the way back up here and then start traveling over this way. But for the night, we'll do one more temporary sleep, and then we'll start establishing a base. I have enough rocks, I think, to get me through. We'll have to set up a campfire and then a science machine. But this might be the spot, to be honest with you. Okay, this does keep going over here. Let's see where this takes me. Does this lead me over by the water? I know that I've already been this way, but does it lead me to the water or... Okay, look at this. More rocks. Just what I hoped for. Oh, I broke my pickaxe. Make another one. Okay, we'll mine up these boulders. We will survive one more night with no permanent residence, and then definitely day 4, we will have to have a permanent space to set up. And this feels pretty good over here. I've said that a couple of times, I'm sure, but it's in between 2 grassy areas, which means there's usually some rabbit hutches. I have to imagine there's going to be some beefalo over here if this is a big grassy area. Look at that. Look at that. Called it. Okay, so yes, definitely. Over here is going to be our permanent space. Oh, look at that. Somebody died here. Okay, we're going to set up a campfire before it gets dark and spooky. Toss some logs on the fire. We are getting very hungry, so we're going to cook up these berries. Survive through the night. I can't carry any more stuff, so I'm going to cook all these berries first, and then I'll pick them up because... Oh no, my berries are burning! Oh no! See, that's an issue with the temporary fires, is they're uncontained, so they spread like that. Once we build our permanent fire, they're contained by stone. Okay. That sucks. Although I will take this ash. Oh, I can't. I don't have enough inventory space, so it's just going to blow away. Okay, so we'll eat this roasted carrot. Maybe cook up a few more. And then, yeah, I think down in that bottom corner where we were talking earlier is going to end up being our permanent space. You know what? Fuck it. I'm picking up these ash. Those are good for healing salves in the future. I think I'll toss this charcoal on just so I can get rid of it, and then I want to pick up this trap, which only has 25% left, but this person died over here, and they died with a trap, so I got to take it. Obviously, it will be dope to catch rabbits in the future. That is a good source of... Why can't I pick this grass? That is a good source of nourishment. So we'll set up a bunch of traps. We'll set up our permanent campfire. We'll set up our science machine. And then we will have ourselves a nice little home. Right next to the beefalo where we can pick up the manure. Those are neutral mobs, so unless we attack them, they won't attack us, unless it's mating season, at which point they will attack us like big bastards. Okay, look at that. Day 4. What a journey. We've found a spot to live. And I think, what did we say? Is this a good spot? This is probably an okay spot. It's right on a trail where you can run faster. There's 4 rabbit hutches near me. I'll chop down these last boulders, and then we'll set up our spot. Do we have gold, though? We don't have gold. That's okay, so never mind. We can't build a science machine, but we can at least establish a campfire, and then we'll have to go look for gold. We do need gold for a science machine, and we do need a science machine for a spear, and we do need a spear for that first time that we get attacked by dogs, which is going to be any day now. But we are near a beefalo herd, which is very good. Okay, so we're going to set up a fire pit. We'll drop it here. This is where we live now. This is base. This is home. Welcome home, Wilson. Alright, let's go chop down some trees, get some more wood, and then we'll have to go out adventuring and looking for gold. But then we now have a place to call home, so we'll run back there when it starts to get dark. And then going forward, we'll still be able to explore. God damn. We need to build a chest soon. I also want to drop this niter. I don't need it. I know that you need it for some things, but I'm not ready to remember what those things are. We'll look it up later. I'm going to try to do my best to not look up what things are for until like an episode is over. Oh, I also forgot you can rotate the camera here if you need a better look at something. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep this as our regular angle. Actually, look at that. Where did that all drop? But yeah, we need a spear. We need a shovel. These are all things that we cannot get until we have a science machine. Oh yeah, we wanted to plant these pine cones. We don't want the big scary keeper of the forest to come after us, but we'll build a nice little forest for ourselves. Okay, and then we're going to pick up a few more flowers so that we can officially build our garland to slow down the insanity. Alright, look at that. We can build a garland, toss it on. Look at that, he looks so pretty. And our sanity's going back up. Look at us. Okay, so taking a look at the map, we know that there's some beefalo over here, which let's just run over there and I'll give you a nice little glimpse of the beefalo. Again, assuming that it is not mating season, we should be good to go. Oh yeah, we can plant this trap. We can't kill rabbits by hand, but if we drop a trap and they run back in the middle of the night and they go into their hole, we catch them there, and then we can cook them up into tasty morsels. Okay, the beefalo are over here. The hope is that today we find some gold, because we'll need gold to build a science machine, so we'll see what's up here. We've got bees. We're going to come back for that. We'll collect this manure in the future. Look at all these beefalo. Is it mating season? Are they coming after me? No. They're a little curious about who and what I am. Oh my god, there's so many beefalo. That is awesome. Okay, this is really good to establish a base near these guys, because when the dogs come, if I'm overwhelmed and I am not able to fight them, I can lead the dogs into the beefalo herd, and then they can fight the dogs. They're not really defending me. At a certain point, they'll be defending their young. And I guess themselves, because the dogs will start to attack them. I have never seen a beefalo herd so large. Okay, we found more boulders, which is great for rocks in the future. We'll need to remember that, but I also need to find some gold. Desperately, because any day now, that first dog is going to attack, and I want to be able to show you how big and strong I am by fighting and defending myself. But I can't do that without a spear, and I can't make a spear without a science machine. Which is funny because it feels pretty primitive, building a spear, making a spear. And that day is going to come any day now. Oh! Oh, okay. Alright. So, I talked about the pigmen. Pigmen are typically neutral mobs. And they can also be pretty helpful. Those are some of the evil pigmen, or the warrior pigmen. Which is not good. They will always try to attack me, but I can run away from them, and that's fine. I think they're worth killing at a certain point. I don't know if they expand or what. I really don't remember much about them other than the fact that they do exist. But there's also a spider's nest, and so you'll see these guys are going to fight the spiders. Look at that. It's a battle. And if they drop all this stuff, I can take all the stuff. I just need to make sure I get in and out of there. Oh, look at that. They're dropping spider glands and a bunch of stuff that's worth collecting. All that stuff up there is good for healing. I'm going to pick it up, and hopefully he doesn't come after me. Oh, he's already hitting me. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Holy shit. Either way, these spider glands are good for healing in the future. They help with cuts and bruises and injuries and stuff. It's getting pretty late. I might build a temporary fire just to get through the night, but I really need to find some gold and fast. Because those dogs are going to be coming for me any day now. It could even be tonight, to be honest with you. But I'm still in an exploring mood. We know that we will come back to that campsite, because that'll be a good place to set up. But I really need to find some gold. So we'll do a little bit more exploring. This is also not a bad place to be honest with you. Anywhere grassy is pretty nice. A, because there's grass. B, because there's typically rabbits. And then beefalo are usually close by. Oh, good God. Okay, so there's a pig hutch. There's a pig in here who's pretty friendly. If they're in a hutch, they're friendly. Okay, alright. More spiders. I don't want to catch this entire forest on fire, but I do need to... Okay, I need to set up a campfire just to get me through the night. Holy shit, it's getting pretty dark. We cannot be caught in the middle of the night with no light. Okay, so we'll cook up these carrots, eat some carrots, survive through day 4, and then hopefully on day 5 we can find some gold, run back to camp, officially set up our science machine. Oh god, I felt like day 4 was kind of a waste, right? We did a lot of exploring, but we didn't find much. We found the evil pigmen, which we know is up here during the near those grassy tufts. We know that there's some friendly pigmen up here. We know that there's a bunch of spiders everywhere. I'm going to follow this trail down or up tomorrow. Look at that. We're traveling in cursive. Okay. All right. I feel like we're in a good place. We will need to find gold and fast. Again, I can lead the dogs over to the beefalo. I would feel a lot more proud of myself if I can just kill that first one by myself. I really just want you guys to see what life is like in Don't Starve. We are starting to lose our mind a little bit. We lose your mind in the dark. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if I've already showed you, but if you start to run out towards the dark... Oh, God. He gets nervous, and he says, it's so dark, and you lose your sanity even faster. Oh, God. I think I ran too close to a spider's nest. Oh, you can hear it click-clacking around. Oh, God. We don't want to fight anything at night. At a certain point, we will have to, but I'm telling you, it's going to be really nice to have a base. So, again, day 5. It's going to be one of these days here soon that we get attacked by dogs. It could, again, be tonight. And we need to be ready for that. So look at this. More friendly pigs. We do love our friendly pigs. Look at this. Here we go. A regular pig village. And there's the king of the pigs. You can trade a bunch of stuff with the king of the pigs. Holy shit. Look at all these carrots. And another wormhole. That's nice. And we found gold. Look at this. I love my pigmen. Okay. So, how much do we need for a science machine? We need 1. Oh, and then we just need more wood. Okay, alright, that's easy. So we know that there's pigs up here. Let me see if we can find one more boulder with gold. I don't think that we will. That felt like a fluke. If we let these spider webs go for too long, they will overrun the forest. So it's good that it's near a pig village, so the pigs can just fight them and keep them at bay. If we didn't have a beefalo herd nearby, we could give food up. Look at that, Wilson's growing a beard. If you shave his beard, you get a little bit of your sanity back, but it's also nice to collect the beard hair. It's also nice to have a beard during the winter because it keeps you warm. But that's all besides the point. We have what we need now. Let's start running back to base to set up a science machine, and then we can do more exploring in a little bit. But the main thing is just making sure we feel cozy at home. So we'll set up the science machine. We'll get a spear. We'll be ready to fight the dogs for the first day. And then at a certain point, I don't know if we've talked about this already, we're going to need to go find Chester, which maybe that's worth talking about later on. He's sort of a traveling inventory, but he's a beautiful friend that'll keep us company. I'm excited for you guys to meet him. He's an old friend. Haven't seen him in a long time. We're going to run back to base. We got a bunch of stuff. I bet we'll have a rabbit trapped in there by today, which will be nice. We can cook that up. But the main thing is getting that science machine up and running. You can't build anything for the first time without a science machine. After we've built it and prototyped it for the first time, then we can craft it while we're on the go. But we just need to make sure that we can prototype it for the first time. I still can't believe we found such a huge beefalo herd. This is going to be insane when the dogs come. I feel like I really struck gold. I got really lucky being this close to that large of a beefalo herd. It could make dog attacks really not even that big of a deal. They are a big deal. At a certain point, they become way, way, way overwhelming and like nearly impossible. But if we're prepared... Oh, I didn't even catch... I thought I would catch a rabbit for sure. Here's what I'm going to do. We can guide this rabbit over to the rabbit hutch. Yeah, run. Run, bitch. Run. Caught him. Look at that. But my inventory's full. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave him in there. We're going to build our science machine. We need to chop more wood. Do we even have an axe? Do we? We do. But we only have a little bit left of an axe. So I need to chop down this tree. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've got 2 wood. Just enough to build a science machine. And then I can build a shovel to dig up those stumps. And then I can plant pine cones. We're really doing it now. We have officially entered the world of Don't Starve. We have a science machine now. So, I'm going to craft a spear, which I need to refine some rope for. So we're going to refine some rope. We now have enough for a spear, which I can use to fend off and ward off attacks. I need to make another axe so we can chop down more wood. We're actually going to toss a piece of wood on, and we'll cook up some carrots. We're really doing it. Look at us go. It's almost dusk. Dawn? Dawn is first, right? Dawn is early morning. Dusk is late at night. I didn't need to eat all those carrots, but I wanted to reserve some space. Alright. We're really cooking now. Oh yeah, I wanted to prototype a shovel. So we can build up, or dig up these stumps. Alright, we're going to prototype a shovel. Look at that. Here we go. Got the shovel. We're going to go over, we're going to dig up these stumps. We get more logs, which means we're in good shape for the fire. And then we're going to start digging up some of these saplings and these berry bushes and stuff and bring them all near our camp so that we can have our own supply. And then expand our base. I'm hoping that in this episode we could just fight the dogs and then we'll end after the dog fight. But knowing that we have our base established is priority number 1. And we do. We're really doing it. We'll go up Oh, look at that. Okay, all right. We're going to toss all these logs on the fire. And then we're going to pick up this rabbit. We're going to murder it. He's dead. I actually don't want this ash right now. We can drop it. It's probably going to blow away. But that gives me space to run over and pick up our very first inaugural berry bush. We're going to pick the berries first, eat the berries. We didn't need to do that, but I wanted the space. Dig up this berry bush, and then plant it at the base. So everything's going to be a little bit closer to us. We'll do the same thing with saplings and more bushes in the future, which I think there was a bunch of bushes. Yeah, there's bushes down here, which we'll collect and bring back. There's a bunch of bushes down here. And then we have to remember that the ring thing is down by that wormhole. We'll have to get a lightning rod at a certain point. Lightning rods attract lightning, obviously, but if we have them in an encampment, then our bushes and grass and stuff won't get struck by lightning, and then it won't all burn down. Do we have enough time? I think we're going to run over here and pick up some poop so we can fertilize that berry bush. Okay, it might... Oh, the dogs are coming. Do you hear that? He's going to say it. Yeah, we can hear them rumbling. Oh God, we don't have any more logs. Oh, we're gonna have to dig up a grass tuft and toss that on the fire. Hopefully they wait until day. Wilson's gonna hear them soon, but I hear them right now. We're equipped. We've got our spear. Oh God, day 5. Day 5 is when the first attack comes. If they attack at night, I think we should be good to go. That first dog is not too big of an issue, but again, as it gets further and further into the game, it'll happen more often. Yeah, I heard that, Wilson. It'll happen more often, and you'll get more dogs, which become more lethal. A, because there's a bunch of dogs. B, because sometimes there'll be fire dogs, and those light on fire. Okay, all right, hear them rumbling. Come at me, you son of a bitch. It's gonna wait until day, which is good for me, because then usually, if they don't come until the day, I can run and lead them somewhere. If they come at night, you're forced to fight them near your base, which is why winter is so goddamn tough. He's close. I'm ready. Come at me. There he is. Just one dog on day 1. That's good. Come at me. Come on. Alright, he attacks once. I dodge and weave. Oh, he bit me. Alright, I was hoping to go unattacked. Alright, look at that. Day 1, the dog has been killed. We got some monster meat, which we can cook up later on. It's not good to eat monster meat, but you get monster meat from spiders and dogs. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this. We're going to run over, grab some manure from the beefalo. We're going to toss the manure on the berry bush so we can fertilize our very first berry and say that we did it. And then that's probably where we'll end this episode. All right. Look at that. What a success. Day 6. We can pick up some poop, run over, fertilize our berry bush, and then we'll come back and collect a bunch more manure when it's time to expand our farm. The main thing is I'm going to need to chop down some trees so we can get some logs and then build chests, because I'm running out of inventory space and we have not yet found Chester. Which we're going to want to do at some point, so we'll have to do some exploring in the future. But what we can do is fertilize the bush. Now in the future it'll grow. Alright, episode 1, day 6. We've had our first dog attack. We've established our base. We got our science machine going. We found beefalo. We found pigs. We found a swamp. We found a bunch of wormholes, and we even found the ring thing. Next time we're going to need to find Chester. So thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you joining this inaugural Let's Play of Don't Starve, and I will see you on the next episode.